What is up, guys? This is Olympio coming at you with an updated version of my King of the Skull Servants deck. Now, it has gone through a couple of changes, so that's why I'm doing it. I know that my last one wasn't that long ago, but this has changed a little bit, so I just want to show you the updates, and it's actually working really well. It's working actually better than my previous build. So to start off, we have the 3 King of the Skull Servants. There's no change here. He is your main boss, he is your main guy, and you run him at 3. Still running the same 2-and-2 ratio of the White Prince and Skull Servant, mainly because I don't like 3. I've always said this, I've tested it to death. See what I did there? And I just don't like it. It's just too cloggy. I kept drawing these, and you don't want to draw them because the only way that I think you can run 3-and-3 is if you're running a really heavy discard outlet type of deck, you know, with the different Raigeki breaks and Karma Cuts and Phoenix Wing Blasts, all them. That's the only way that it really works kind of that much, and I'm not really going for that type of build because I just don't want those dead draws. I don't want more combo pieces. So then 3 Lady of the White, this is one of your best ones. Stops at the back row, really solid defense, and just in general a great card. Target for White Prince and everything like that. Speak of the Devil, and he shall enter. White Prince. Love this card. There are so many good combos with this card. It's unbelievable. And it's an incredibly good top deck as well, because you can just get that King of the Skull Servants that's banished or anything like that. And, you know, worst case, if you've got King of the Skull Servants out and you've got something banished, it's an extra 2k for your King of the Skull Servants because you discard it and it counts as itself. New card is uni-zombie. This card adds so much just speed to the deck, being able to dump the White Prince from your hands and then being able to dump it from deck and absolutely everything. It's just so good. And being a tuner, it allows you to disrupt your opponent's plays as well because you can increase their monsters' levels too. So it's really nice, and it's also important to note because you don't want to keep increasing his level because then you'll block yourself from going into things like Beals and so on and so forth. So yeah, uni-zombie is a great card. I really do love it. I'm glad it came out. 3 Mizuki, this is simply because we have Mathematician and we have uni-zombie to dump them, and you know, free summons from the grave is always nice, and also using things like Burial, you can reuse this. So yeah, Mizuki is just a staple at 3 in my opinion. You can run 2 if you so wish, but I just like it at 3 because I like to be able to abuse it a little bit more. And it's great abuse with Zombie Master. Zombie Master is a great card in here. I've seen some people who don't run it, and that's completely fine. I don't mind that at all. But I prefer running him because I'm running the 3 Mizuki. So there's some nice plays you can do with uni-zombie and Zombie Master and Mizuki. So yeah, it's pretty good. And then finally for the monsters, 3 Mathematician. I dumped it back up to 3. I did have it at 2 in my previous build, but I've decided that I want to dump as much stuff into my grave as quick as possible, and I want to open up with those deck thinning options. So that's why I've gone for the 3 Mathematician once again, and you know his drawing ability is just nice anyway. So going to the spells, we have the 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, just standard. You want your zombies to kind of live, especially King of the Skull Servants. And then the one-ofs, we have the 1 Allure of Darkness. Standard, draw card, incredible. Wish that would go to up higher. The 1 Foolish Burial, just to get the Mizukis or the White Princes out of the deck, or even if you're dead with Skull Servants in the deck, you can just use that. Burial, because it just means you can ditch the White Prince, activate its effect, then banish it, and then get it back, and you have a Skull Servant on 3k. The 1 Dragon's Mirror, I really like this card. It just works really well, and there are some pretty beastie monsters you can bring out with it, which you'll see in a sec. And finally, the 1 Snatch Steal. I don't run Raigeki just because I have space issues, but Raigeki is still a great card, and it works fine in the deck as well. So going on to the traps, I think we have 8 traps in total, as opposed to 3 last time. 2 Vanities. This is just for controlling the game a little bit. If I have King of Skull Servants out, it just means that I can really push home the game and really control it, as I said. So Vanities is just great in general. If you can run them, do run them. Then we have the 2 Fiendish Chain. I prefer this than Breakthrough Skill. I know that obviously you can make some different plays of Breakthrough Skill, but for this type of deck and the way that I run it, Fiendish Chain, I just prefer it. It's just a lot nicer, and I like to be able to restrict the attack, you know, if I so wish. If there's a Skull Servant that's lower attack than I need it to be. I know that I can bring it back if it dies by battle, but at the end of the day, it just depends on my dueling style, and I prefer the Fiendishes for my dueling style. So that is them. 2 traps done. This is just for any back row. If I want to turn off my vanities or anything like that, I just prefer being able to run trap stun. It just means that I can dodge horrible cards, you know, that I just don't want to see. Getting your King of Skull Serpents bottom list is a little bit annoying. So this is why I'm running the 2 trap stun, and it actually works really well. The penultimate card is the 1 compulsory. This is just to remove any problem monsters that I don't really want to see. And it doesn't really need much explanation. But now, finally, for the final one, don't ask why the whole deck's low rarity and then I've got this in max rarity. It's quite random. But this is my super secret tech, which is Eradicator Epidemic Virus. So this card, if you don't know what it does, is tribute 1 dart monster with 2,500 attack or more. And you choose spell or traps, and basically you just check all the spell and traps on your opponent's side of the field and in their hands, and then they discard each of that type, and then for 3 draws you see what it is, and you get rid of them. So basically, you call spells against shadows, and that hurts them. You call, you know, traps or spells against cliff forts. It's the same. Burning Abyss as well. Like, everyone uses these important traps. And Eradicator just helps because it allows you to lock out the duel, but it also means that you can see what your opponent has. And that's one of the most important things, I feel, because it gives you knowledge on what they're running. And I really like knowing what obviously my opponent's running. Everyone does, because it means you can really, really kind of adapt your plays to what they've got. You can bait out what they're trying to do, and bait out what they've got in the back row and everything like that. So Eradicator is a great card, and it's actually been testing really well for me. But yeah, so that's the deck, 40 cards as per usual. Then we should go on to the extra deck. So we have Nether Soul Dragon, standard. This is the Dragon's Mirror targets, and also First of the Dragons. These two just allow for some pretty heavy hits when you're going for games. So I really like these two, and they work really, really well. 1 Void Ogre Dragon. Card's great. You can deplete your hand very quickly if you so wish. It's nice and easy to do so. And now with more traps, it's a lot easier to do. So Void Ogre Dragon's great because he's just easy to summon. The same with the Beals. Beals is just great because it's, you know, it's still difficult to get over unless you're playing Satella Knights, and then they just trigger you, and that's about it. The 1 Black Rose, because Black Rose in your opponent's field is nice, and then even doing the White Prince, it's just good. So Black Rose is always an option because you can do it with a like uni-zombie and a zombie master just straight off the bat. The 1 Go-Yo Guardian, because it's just nice to have. Go-Yo being able to steal your opponent's monsters is always nice. The 1 Catastor even, sorry. So yeah, it's just standard rank 5 really. You can put in the other level 5, the dragon, Samson Dragon or something I think it is, that revives if you so wish, but it wasn't just good in testing for me. The 1 Downer Magician, because I do run some lower levels. 1 Larval Chain, just to ditch into the grave, fill it up. The 1 Exeter Knight, just to pop any back rows, or fields I should say. The 1 Dweller, just for, you know, Burning Abyss and things like that. The 1 Castel, because Castel's a great card. Really, really rate it. The 1 Levier, yes, I know, I finally put Levier into my extra deck. It wasn't in there simply because I sometimes just never needed it and I never saw it. But Levier's in there now just for those out-of-play shenanigans. The 1 Slacker Magician, because, you know, rank 1 stalling's fine. And Duralan, because again it's a pretty decent card for the deck, and it just works out pretty nicely. So that is it, guys. I hope you did enjoy the deck profile. It's a really, really fun deck. I really do enjoy playing Skull Servants. I'll definitely have to bring them to locals one time in the near future when I can actually compete. The next couple of weeks, next week I'm not there. The weekend after that is our regional, which I'm doing all the commentary for and all that. And then I have no idea what I'm doing after, because we've got YCS Prague, which I'm not going to, and everything like that. But I will hopefully get a tournament report going for this deck. I would really like to kind of play it and see how it goes, and I'll be able to tell you what works, what doesn't work, and everything like that, because a lot of people have actually been asking for it. So kind of just watch this space, bear with me. I am trying to get to a tournament with this, but it's a little bit difficult just because of my schedule currently. So as I said, that is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the deck. Like, comment, subscribe, and I should catch you guys later.